Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new Mass Effect Andromeda video, and this one's going to be a little bit different to my Mass Effect Andromeda playthrough because I thought I'd focus a little bit more on Mass Effect faces. So Mass Effect Andromeda is obviously out now. It came out last week. I've been playing it loads. I'm sure you guys have been playing it a lot as well. I absolutely love it so far. I'm about 8 hours in. It does feel a little bit different from the Mass Effect games, the previous trilogy, but it's definitely a Mass Effect game. And there's a lot to do, there's a lot to explore, and it's a ton of fun. I know the game has had some criticism for the animations, and yeah, maybe they're a little bit clunky. The eyes in particular are a little bit strange on some of the scenes. And I also know that Female Ryder in particular has had quite a lot of criticism for the way her face looks. She's had some very strange expressions in certain scenes. And all in all, there's just been a little bit of criticism to her. I don't actually play as the regular Ryder. I play as my own custom Ryder, which you can see on screen now. And I spent a lot of time making her. I was trying to make a Ryder that looked like myself. I don't know if I actually achieved that. And when I first made her and I saw her in the opening scene, I was like, you know what? I quite like her. She's not so bad. And then I started to notice things about her that kind of bugged me. Like her animation on her mouth was weird. Her eyes are kind of these big, freaky, huge eyes. Her lips are these kind of tiny little peck lips. And in certain scenes in particular, she's animated really, really strangely. And obviously this is a game where you're going to be talking to the rest of your crew a lot. There's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of you picking what you want to say. And obviously you're going to be talking to all the different aliens. And the whole RPG element of the game is pretty huge, which means you're going to see your character's face a lot. And the more I played it, the more I started to really hate the way my character looked. And I'm about 8 hours in now, and I've searched so much to try and figure out a way if I can go back to the character editor or edit my saved game so that I can change the way my character looks. And I can't. There's no way to change it, guys. There's literally no way to change it. And she looks like a freak. She literally looks like a freak. So I spent some time going back to the editor and making 3 faces that I think actually look nice. And this video is going to be about how to make those faces. I'm going to show you exactly how to make them. I've picked 3 faces that are very different from each other. They're all very different kind of backgrounds, so they look a lot different. And hopefully there's going to be a face here that you guys like. So what I'm going to do is show you how to make each face. I'm going to show you the slider values. So if you want to make your own face, you can do. You'll just copy the slider values I have and you'll be able to make these faces in your game. And I want to know which is your favorite face in the comments below. And don't forget, if you enjoy this video, to give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed already, if you haven't seen my Mass Effect series, hit subscribe, check the rest of my videos, and you can watch my whole Mass Effect playthrough. So on to face number 1. So for face number 1, I am going to be using preset number 5, which is this preset here. The first face, I'm kind of going for a little bit of a lighter skin, kind of Caucasian background. I actually, when I went back and looked at this face again, I would have liked to gone slightly lighter with the skin tone, just so that all 3 faces had a very distinct look. But here is my first face. The idea here was to do a character with blonde hair and lighter eyebrows. But you can't change the color of the eyebrow, just a little bit frustrating. And I found that in almost every single Mass Effect game, every hair color which is kind of blonde looks kind of weird. It just doesn't seem to look right in the game. They just never seem to get the hair color looking very natural. So unfortunately, although I really wanted to give this character blonde hair and have a kind of that blonde hair look, I did decide to go back and just give her brown hair. So I'm sorry about that. This character was meant to look a lot fairer than the other, so that there was a lot of difference between all 3 characters, but blonde hair just looked very strange and very unnatural. So I decided not to go for that look. I picked this character's face because I thought that this face preset would work best on the character that I was trying to create. The only thing that I would change if I could is her eyes. I think her eyes are a little bit, I don't know, she kind of looks a little bit sleepy or a little bit angry looking, but when you see her in game, it does look pretty good. She has that badass look that Ryder should have. And also, one thing that really frustrated me in my Mass Effect character is that her lips, when are on the screen, they looked normal, and then as soon as you got them in game, because of the way they animate the face and the mouth, her lips just kind of changed to this sort of really ridiculously tiny looking lips. So in all of these characters, you're going to see I went quite heavy on the lips, just because it looks a lot better in-game. The thing about the character creator in Mass Effect is what you create in this character creator and how the character is going to look in-game don't always line up too well. They just don't look that great together. I kind of went for a bit of a heavier makeup on her around her eyes, just because as I said, the eyes are kind of a little bit, I don't know, they look a little bit strange looking. They looked not quite awake, so I thought if I apply quite heavy makeup, at least it's going to make her look a little bit more awake. And I also set the eyes quite deep into the head, because the problem with my character is she has these really, really bulgy eyes. So this is a way to kind of make her eyes look a little bit more natural. I thought I'd give her this kind of cool little sort of lip line as well. And with all my characters, I've given them tattoos, because, you know, this isn't Shepard, this is Ryder. It's a little bit more badass. So onto the bit that you guys can now copy to make your own. I went with skin tone 0.2. I'd probably go a little bit lighter, just because she looks a lot darker when you see her in game. I don't know why. I think it's just the shadows. It's just the way the game works. I'd probably go a little bit lighter. I changed her brows right at the end just slightly, made them a little bit higher. So I finished with her brow height of 3 and her brow depth of 5. Onto her cheeks, I went with 9 for cheek height, 10 for cheek width, and 7 for cheekbone width. So 3 values there. Onto the chin, chin height was 10, chin depth was 19, chin width was 10, and jaw width was 5. Onto her eyes, and I put the height as 10, the depth of 9, and the width as 10. Then with her mouth, her lip thickness, pretty thick, is 17. Her mouth height is 8. Her mouth depth is 8 as well. And then her mouth width, I went for 13. So she's got pretty big, kind of cool looking lips. Her nose height is 7. Her nose depth is 10. Width is 7. And then the nose size is 6 again. And then with all my characters as well, you can see in the link below, actually, except one, I've uploaded their character data. So if you just wanted to grab them exactly and play with them in game, I'm going to drop a link in the description below so that you can do that. You can download them from the Mass Effect servers. It's a really cool new feature. I actually went with leader for her her training type, and then I think with this first one I decided to I named all of them. You don't have to keep these names, but I think I called my first character Sky Ryder. So that's the first character. I think she's pretty cool looking. As I said, I would have gone slightly lighter with her skin tone just to differentiate all 3 of them, and I would have loved to go with blonde hair, but the blonde hair, the lighter hair just doesn't look fantastic in this game. So she's got brown hair, and guys, here is how she looks in game when she wakes up on the Hyperion ship. I will warn you, there's some very, very mild spoilers in here, but it's everything you would learn within the first 2 minutes of playing the game anyway, so it's not huge spoilers.
Deep breaths. You're gonna want to take it easy.
I've been taking it easy for 600 years.
Ryder, recon specialist, Pathfinder mission team.
Pathfinder team, eh? The ones finding us a home.
Can you make it somewhere tropical? Nice, warm ocean, summer year-round?
How about we get her a cup of coffee first?
Ryder, let's get you checked out. Look here.
After discovering an unusually high ratio of potential candidates for...
That's where your adventure comes in.
So on to character number 2, and this is using the first face preset, which is kind of like a bit of a more Eastern look. I think it's actually one of the naturally prettiest face types that are on that menu, but I decided to give her a little bit of a tweak anyway. All of them, when you start off with them, have pretty loud, crazy looking makeup, so I've dialed down all their makeup a little bit, and again, I've added tattoos and stuff to them all, just because I think Space Rider now, she's Pathfinder, she's a little bit cooler, a little bit edgier, and I tried to get that across in the characters. So with this face, I did definitely want to keep her with an Eastern looking look, just so that she again was very different from the other 2 characters. And again, I made her eyes sink in a little bit just because otherwise they're going to look so bulgy when you're doing all the in-game animations. I messed with her nose and her lips a little bit. I think when I see her in-game, the one thing I would change, and if you guys wanted to make a face like this, the one thing I'd do a little bit differently is move her lips down very slightly and widen her mouth very slightly as well. Just because even though it might look great when you're in this in-game menu, as soon as you go into the game, her lips just look a tiny little bit off, but that's the only thing I would change. I was so tempted to go for white hair on this character just because I think Eastern looks with white hair just looks absolutely amazing. But again, I just don't think those really light hair types look natural. I don't know what they've done wrong, but it just never looks very natural in Mass Effect games. So I've kept her with black hair, but I did go with a pretty cool tattoo for her on her neck. I've gone with quite heavy eye makeup as well, and I think she looks really, really badass. I think she's probably my favorite of all the 3 characters that I made. So onto the values, I kept her skin tone light at 0.15. She's the fairest of all the characters. You could probably have gone even fairer with her. With her brows, I went for 2 and 8. Her cheeks are 14, 8, and 8 again. And then onto her chin, I went for 10, 8, 4, and 4. With her eyes, I went for 8, 2, and 10. And then her mouth is 4, 10, 8, and 2. And then her nose is 4, 8, 10, and I think that's an 8 again. No, it's a 9. With her nose, I went for her 9. I think her character's really, really nice. You can see her when she's out in the... You can see a full body look here. I think she looks really, really cool. I think I went for a biotic for her character. And then again, I just named them all. You don't have to name them, but I just thought I would because I honestly think she looks badass. Like, I would love to do my playthrough with any of these 3 characters rather than the one I have. But I think maybe she would be the one I chose. Again, I've uploaded her data so you can get it in the link below. And I think I called her Ray Ryder, which I think sounds really cool. Like, oh, what's your name? My name's Ray Ryder. So there is the final character, and here is how she looks in-game.
We made it.
Deep breaths. You're gonna want to take it easy.
I've been taking it easy for 600 years.
Ryder, recon specialist, Pathfinder mission team.
Pathfinder team, eh? The ones finding us a home.
Can you make it somewhere tropical? Nice, warm ocean, summer year-round?
How about we get her a cup of coffee first?
Ryder, let's get you checked out. Look here.
After discovering an unusually high...
I think that's where your adventure comes in.
So guys, on to the final character. I've made 3 for you today, and this character is going to be the final female rider that we make in this video. I started off with head number 7 as the default head for this character. I don't know why it is, but her skin texture is so much better than any of the other characters. I think her skin looks the most realistic. It has little imperfections, you can see the pores, and for whatever reason, it just seems the most lifelike of all of the heads in the game. So, obviously I wanted to go for a character look quite different to my other 2 characters. She's got a darker skin tone, and I think her eyebrows are the best of any of the ones that we've worked on so far. So again, I've just tweaked some of her characteristics, her face a little bit. I've kept quite thick lips for her, and I think I actually thickened them a little bit more because, as I said, when your characters talk in the game, their lips kind of suck in. I don't know why it does that animation, but my default shepherd has, my default rider has very tiny lips, so I've kept the character's lips all very big for all 3 of these faces. And I've played with her eyes a little bit. I actually gave her the most makeup of any of the characters. I had a bit of fun with her. She's got like black eyeliner, but then I went for kind of a red eyeshadow, and I've matched that with some red scars next to her eye and with a red tattoo down the side of her face. I just thought because I went with the hairstyle that I did, you could see a lot more of her face. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play with the tattoos a little bit more. So this character probably had the most time spent in the makeup department of any of the characters, but I think the look that she comes out with is a really badass look matched with really like overly animated, like amazing expressions, because for whatever reason the head number 7 seems to have the best expressions when you're in game. And as I mentioned, this is a game where you're going to be talking to people a lot, you're going to be seeing your character a lot, and you're going to be seeing their expressions a lot, and this character's face has the best expressions. I think you're going to see that as soon as we go in game. Her expressions are a lot more animated. She kind of like engages with people a lot more. I don't know why that head is different, but it is. I definitely feel like it's different. And so yeah, she is definitely one of the most fun characters to work on, and she looks great in game. So onto her values. Her skin tone, I ended up on 0.75. She's obviously the darkest of any of the character skin tones we've used so far. Her brows, I went with 7 and 12. Her cheeks, I went with 16, 7 and 19. Her chin, I went with 13, 13, 8 and 8 again. And then her eyes, I went 7, 5 and 7. Her mouth, I went with 11, 11, 10, and 9. And then finally her nose, I went with 7, 9, 8, and 10. Now, she is the only character that when I went to go and upload it on the server, my computer lost internet connection. It does it about the same time every day, and it was exactly when I was recording this video, which is a little bit annoying, so I wasn't able to upload her character data, which means you guys won't be able to download it in the description below. I'm really sorry about that. But as I said, you can just copy all those character values and you'll get a character that looks identical. I think I went with a technician in the end for her character class. Probably be able to change that if you guys want to do something different. And here is how she looks as her full body. I thought she looked really, really badass. I was really, really happy with the way she looked. And for her name, I actually went for Grace Ryder. I just thought it kind of suited her. And here is how Grace looks in game.
Deep breaths. You're gonna want to take it easy.
I've been taking it easy for 600 years. Ryder, Recon Specialist, Pathfinder Mission Team.
Pathfinder team, eh? The ones finding us a home.
Can you make it somewhere tropical? Nice, warm ocean, summer year-round?
How about we get her a cup of coffee first?
Ryder, let's get you checked out. Look here.
After discovering an unusually high...
And that's where your adventure comes in.
So guys, that was all 3 of my Mass Effect Andromeda alternative Ryder faces. If you guys had all the frustrations I had that tried to make a character that didn't just look good when you were making her, but also looked good in game, then hopefully if you use one of these 3 faces, I've tested them, you can see how they look in game. They all look pretty cool, I would say. If you've enjoyed this video and if you like any of those characters, drop a like on the video and let me know in the comments if you decide to use any 3 of those, and let me know which of those 3 characters was your favorite. I hope I helped you guys out. If you're playing Mass Effect, have a ton of fun, and don't forget to check out my series as well if you haven't already, so you can watch my Mass Effect Andromeda playthrough. And guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!